Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm Leah.
And I'm David. And we're here today to talk about 3 movies from 2012 that didn't quite live up to our expectations.
So the movie that most let me down this year was the beloved musical Les Miserables.
To the barricades!
It reminded me of my problems with The Dark Knight Rises, which were, I felt that that movie was a comic book movie that was afraid to be a comic book movie. You know, we're not going to call her Catwoman. It's a comic book movie. This was a musical that was kind of afraid to be a musical because they wanted to be so realistic. They hired Tom Hooper, who did The King's Speech, and I thought he'd add some nice realism to it, but keep it kind of epic and grand. The casting seemed to be good. Hugh Jackman, we know he's, a Broadway veteran.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway, she's proven herself to be a good singer. The live singing, which, they touted as this, big experiment and how wonderful that is.
Now, hold it. Live singing meaning that as they shot the movie, everyone sang live. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
so they would just, so what they thought was so great about it was that they could act and they could change it up and they could be in the moment rather than acting to a pre-recorded track.
Now she lives with an innkeeper man and his wife, and I pay for the child. What's the matter with that?
However, here's why I was let down. The live singing.
So the thing that had the biggest expectation for you let you down the most.
It was terrible.
Oh,
here's why.
wow.
The actors wildly emoted so that the music became not beautiful anymore, it became really ugly.
Oh, wow.
So you have, I dreamed a dream in time gone by, and then Anne Hathaway's going, I dreamed a dream.
Oh,
no
wow.
joke.
Stop.
Really?
Right, it was pretty painful.
Wow.
So that bothered me. Hugh Jackman kept on talk singing, so he, sing a note and then talk about it.
Who am I? Can I condemn this man to slavery? Pretend I do not feel his agony.
Here, the actors were expressing their emotions while singing, rather than expressing their emotions through song. And that's the difference between a musical and some sort of weird indie experiment that this is what he was trying to do. It's very underpopulated. All the students on the barricade, there's like 7 of them. It was like the Sharks and the Jets. The cinematography by Dan and Cohen was really muddy and gray, which fits the story. I understand it's called Les Miserables, got it. But they used a fisheye lens, which just seemed to kind of make it a little wacky. And Les Mis is this grand, epic musical, and I wanted it to be this grand, epic musical. I wanted to sing along, and that's not what I got. So that's pretty much why I was disappointed in Les Mis, because it's one of my favorite musicals, and I really wanted it to do it justice, and I didn't think it did.
David, why don't you tell us what really let you down this year?
Well, that would have to be Magic Mike.
We welcome to stage the one, the only Magic Mike.
You are the husband that they never had. You are that dreamboat guy that never came along.
Now, other than the obvious that it's got really hot guys in G-strings dancing on stage, and ironically enough, the movie didn't disappoint in that aspect.
Right.
And of course, it had a wonderful cast led by Channing Tatum. And it was very interesting because Channing Tatum was a stripper when he was younger. So I was really looking forward to the autobiographical aspects of this movie, and he helped write the movie along with Steven Soderbergh, who is one of my favorite directors. I followed his career since Sex, Lies, and Videotape, and I love what he does. And the reason why I was let down was, first of all, it crossed my suspension of disbelief. Mostly in that there's these really hot guys, they've got beautiful bodies, and other than maybe a little thing here or there, you never see them working out. You see them staying up all night and drinking alcohol and partying, and I just felt like this isn't realistic. And then I think the next thing that I discovered after seeing the movie, when I really had time to think of it, was here's all of these really beautiful people presented to us. And in order to be able to relate to them, you have to give them problems like us non-beautiful people have
regular
to deal
folk.
Right. Like us regular folk have to deal with every day. And really, they weren't presented with any challenges. The character of Magic Mike tried to get a bank loan to start a business, but that was kind of it.
So are you in business? Why aren't you in...
I will be as soon as the banks start making the competitive rates and loans, and I will. Look, I've been saving for 6 years. I mean, why do you think I'm doing all these stupid businesses with and stripping. It's just, I don't know. I've saved about 13 grand.
He saved $13,000.
Right.
So he's pretty responsible.
All in singles,
So what's
right? You know, you're absolutely right. So, and he was a really nice guy. He didn't have any flaws. Here's a really gorgeous guy who's with no flaws. None of them were presented with any particular obstacles or hurdles that they had to overcome. So it didn't feel like that there was anything at stake.
Right.
And I will admit that the scenes in the club, the strip scenes, were frenetic. And when I was sitting in the audience, the women were howling at the screen like they were really sitting in the club. But the minute you left the club, right, bingo. The caveat is that this movie did make $150 million. So clearly it was very successful in hitting its target audience. But I guess
Which was who?
Gay guys and women.
But all the gay guys I know really did not like this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
But Kevin, you liked it.
No, I didn't.
Okay, good, because I just outed you.
I mean,
Sorry, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Wow, okay, so you thought it was boring too.
That was boring.
Okay.
Yeah, even the stage stuff I thought was boring.
Yeah, high expectations, but just didn't work for me.
So Leah, I want to know what movie did not live up to your expectations.
That was Ridley Scott's Prometheus.
We're all here because of a map you two kids found in a cave.
Not a map. An invitation.
From whom?
Prometheus is part of a franchise, a very successful film starting with 1979's Alien, which was also directed by Ridley Scott. And with the wild success and global family of fans that are associated with all of those films, there is this body of work that predates Prometheus. And so Prometheus emerged on the scene as a prequel to Alien. So for me, one of the big problems with this story is that it tried to be too many things to too many different people.
I agree, absolutely.
It tried to be both in the family or part of the franchise of Alien while also wanting to be a standalone film. And what you have really, as far as I'm concerned, is neither feast or fowl.
Yeah.
Yannick, listen to me. Can't let it leave. You have to stop it.
We're not stopping anything, Shaw. We're going home.
Yannick, if you don't stop it, there won't be any home to go back to.
For me, also another big problem with Prometheus is the writing. The screenplay was written by Damon Lindelof, who was one of the creators of Lost. Yes. And so he's bringing this is it or isn't it kind of ethos to Prometheus. And again, as far as I'm concerned, you need to be really clear in your genre modes what the rules are, and then you can break those rules. So one of the primary conventions of sci-fi deals with man reaching beyond his limits. It deals with man and his struggle against God. And the title is Prometheus. Okay, so yes,
we're on the nose.
You know, it's kind of on the nose. We're trying to look for our own origins. We're on a search for God here, right? And I feel like they didn't really adhere to, or they didn't really respectfully treat that kind of foundational convention of the genre.
Why do you think your people made me?
We made you because we could.
Can you imagine how disappointing it would be for you to hear the same thing from your creator?
If you want it to be a standalone film, then you really need to clearly establish the rules and the logic of this world, and then you need to adhere to them consistently. So for me, Prometheus was a big letdown.
So here's to 2013 and not being let down.
Cheers. Cheers.
That was good, you got
really well.
Yeah.
I sang.
Yeah.
It's not good. My singing isn't pretty
That was good.
Was
That
that,
was
what you were
good.
complaining
Yeah,
about?
you
Please, Kevin,
know.
stop.
And that was Ridley Scott's Prometheus.
Ooh, boy, you better like lay low on the internet now.
Yeah, I know.
You're setting
I'm gonna
yourself
have to-
up, honey.
Security.